Hi, it's Renee again. Some of my hair is starting to look really wild and I'm not really liking this. But today is the beginning of the fourth day and I tried to make a video last night, but it was too dark and so we'll just recap it here. So yesterday I had to go and get the van looked at because the engine light had come on pretty much after I left the dealership, but it was my error, something I had done, and they had told me to come back on Tuesday. So anyway, they checked it, they put it up to the machine, and it looks fine, everything's fine, and actually it looks like the engine light might have gone off at some point, and I just didn't notice it because I was going to take it on Tuesday, and I just kind of resigned myself to driving 25 miles to have it looked at, and so I stopped paying attention. So anyway, so that was that. And then so I came back and went to some dollar stores to get some little organizers. That was cool. I got some other kind of needed things, only things that I needed. And that was about, I don't know, $18. And then I went over to Home Depot to see about the bed, because that is needed. Sleeping sideways, feet up, all that wonderful stuff. Don't try this at home, children. Anyway, so, not for the faint of heart. So I've already decided I'm going to have to obviously push the seat up. It's in the relaxed position. Well, no one's sitting there, so obviously they'll give me a little extra room. And I'm going to have to do that pretty soon. So it was only like $22.64. It's going to be for the plywood. It's 4-ply. And then they said they actually give you 2 cuts for free. So I just got to measure it, I guessed, around. I know what I want. I just need to make sure that it's going to fit my space. So I'm going to try to measure that with someone's tape measure today. And then I just have to find some place to put my chairs for later. And so yeah, then I can do that. Bed is priority. Uno. And then I'll see what's left with the space. I'm more about organizing for workspace because coffee shops are fun if you have a lot of money to spend. And I actually prefer them because, you know, there's other people there and stuff. Oh, before I forget, randomly forget. So I was going to do the little project with making the, here, I never did show you these. Okay, the things I made for the window out of craft paper, if you can see this, they're basically just shaped near the size of the window. And so I had some watercolor from when I paint, and so it ended up being more of a gray, but the idea is for me was for it to blend more into the color of the windows. And for when you're wandering and you kind of go up to a window to look in it, it's not such a blatant mix of colors. Because when I had done it the first time, I walked outside and I looked at what I had done and I thought, man, it's like totally brown. You can see that it's brown. So, excuse me. So that's what I was trying to do, is to paint these more of a darker color. Wasn't real bad. Of course, I could do way better as far as getting it darker. But actually, I kind of like sitting in the park. I'm sitting on the outside in the back, and there was kids and people around. That was kind of cool. It's kind of like a background because I was totally focused on that. But yeah, I'd never been to any of the parks here, so that was cool. So I did that after the dollar store excursion. And I was thinking about going to a meetup, but I couldn't really get into the idea considering the gas I'd take to go there. And I didn't really have the supplies I wanted. It was for making beads from clay. I haven't gotten my supplies yet. I want to get a good deal. I don't want to just rush and get something for that particular thing. So I didn't go. Instead, I came back and went to a coffee shop and used the computer for a couple hours, or actually a little more than an hour by the time I got there. So yeah, and then I talked to a friend for a little bit, and then I came back, and I had to find a better way to spend more time away from my little spot. Because first of all, I'm used to going to bed way later. The big idea of when you park is when you park, you're ready for bed. So for me to get here before 10 o'clock, so I'm a little restless to say, but since I haven't had a lot of sleep lately, it's been working out. I don't want to get stuck being an early bird. Come on, this is crazy. It's actually funny because yesterday I had to go early to the car dealership, and I knew I would leave early. Excuse me, because it was a half hour away, and I'd never driven the highways here except for to come back from the car dealership. So anyway, I knew I would get up early. But what was amusing was when I finished shopping, after having come back to the area, it was only like, what? It wasn't even noon. It was like 11 something. And I was like, whoa, it felt like a whole day. So I was like, I don't know if I like that. I don't know. I could go either way. So yeah, I think I covered everything from yesterday. I see someone. I wonder if I think this is somebody I know, actually. I don't know. I don't feel like I need to be sitting here on the phone when I'm not parked. So I'm either going to go and say, hey, I know you, and then have to explain, or I'm going to go on and get started with the day. All right, talk to you guys later.